Lord, welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody, welcome to the Sunday morning mass hall. Where we here to learn us about some Jesus. You guys want to play Learn About Jesus? I do. I realize like I end up sounding kind of like a broken record anymore. Because I just don't, I add to my presentation as I find it necessary. Karen, good morning. Can you take care of this? You just stepped right next to it. There's one right there. And there's some on this step right here. And I think there's one more because, she likes puking at like 5 in the morning. It's awesome. Turtle was up inside the shades, looking down at me, like underneath the shades. She sucks.
She doesn't.
Oh yeah, she does.
She's so lovely.
Yeah, she sucks. All right. So, what do we do today? You know what's interesting? Huh? Yes, people that like little kids are fucking gross. I was going through eBay, and I just curiously put coins in, and I wanted to what the most expensive coins were. But I want you guys to look at something. Let's see if I can find it on here. I took pictures on my phone, but that's different. Let's see. 1893 gold. I guess gold coin. I'm just going to put gold coin.
Good morning. Daddy woke you up? Why? Oh.
Morning, Bubba.
I'll be right down, Gab. Hold on. Waiting for you. Hold on.
All right. Let's see. See, so like the 1893 2.5 Liberty quarter, I guess. So you have shit like this. This is a $66,000 coin, but this is what it looks like. And there's tons of symbolism in here. And something that I don't think anybody ever really talks about is the intricacies of money. And how it was made. We're talking about, you can find coins. I saw one was like a Julius Caesar coin from 49 AD or some shit like that. It was a claim. And that coin is not as crystal clear as this coin is, but it's absolutely incredibly detailed. And you just think these were coins produced in the millions. For us to have any still today means they just had to be produced in the absolute millions. So what was the smelting company back then? How did they make money? I know the blacksmiths did it. Do you understand? Like, I don't think people realize how coins are even made. It's not like an easy process per se. And you don't just pour the liquid metal into the mold and then it dries as a coin. It doesn't work that way. Coins are stamped. And the dies that are used to stamp the coins have to be replaced every so often because they get dull. But this isn't even the inverted for invented for trade, ornate royal mint. So this isn't even the one I was looking at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I could have told you there were 13 stars around her head. Just look. I knew that before I counted, because you just know that that's what they do. You have 13 six-pointed stars around her head. And then if you look in the back of her head, there's 13 of those little ribbon things too. And this chick always looks like a dude to me, but whatever. But more importantly, turn it over to the backside, right? So this is one of the eagles that looks like an eagle, kinda. But lots of times when you look at these old coins, they're not depicting an eagle. It kind of looks like an eagle, but then it has this weird, long ass, almost dinosaur looking mouth. Belch. So, and then of course, there's the shield, and there's the leaves, and there's the arrows, and all that shit is extremely significant. Just because you don't know about what those symbols mean doesn't mean they don't mean anything. Did you guys know that there was Griffin-like, exactly? Did you guys know that there was a band in the 70s called Vapor Trails? I had no idea. I saw a card for them today, Vapor Trails. But that's not even a thing I want you guys to see. Let me see if I can find it. Here's an 1893 $20 coin. Again, same face. This must have been very important, although the hair design is different. Let me guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Go figure. The little ribbons on the top of her crown, 13 of them. And then look at the back of this coin. Jesus Christ. Look at how spectacular this is. And this is where the eagle starts to look different. That doesn't look like an eagle. Look how long its face is. Look how perfect everything else is. Somebody will say, oh, it's just because they couldn't design blah, blah, blah. Everything else is fucking perfect. The little aura lines all around it and all this shit.
You have all the aura.
I know I do. But look at that monster. That does not look like an eagle's head. Does that look like an eagle? You can't see it. Put your glasses on. Let me see your glasses. This moron never fucking cleans her glasses. And then you clean them and you give them to her and she goes, oh, I thought my eyes had gotten worse. Does that necessarily look like an eagle's head to you?
No.
Right? Doesn't it look different?
Yes.
But again, that's not the one I wanted to find. Let's see if I can find the one I wanted to find. No, not the $20 one. Here's another $20 gold coin. Where the fuck is this other coin? Maybe it was in the sold listings. Let's try that. All right. It's really strange that I can't find the one thing I wanted to find. Let's see. $20. Here's the $5 gold piece. Let's see if the $5 one has the image I'm looking for. Nope. $20. Double eagle. It's all double eagle, but that's not what I'm looking for here. There's a different coin that I literally have the picture of it, so if I need to, I will just send it to my wife and then show you through there, but here's the $10 coin. Is the $10 coin the one I'm talking about? No. Here you go again. Here's the $10 coin. Slightly different. You know, that one has more of an eagle shape to it. Spectacular when you consider the time and tools supposedly available. And the materials, like, you know, smelting metal isn't just you build a fire with some wood. You need extremely high temperatures.
Okay, it's a forge.
Yeah. And it requires significant amounts of energy to maintain it. It does not just turn on and just, oh, look, the forge is going doo-doo-doo.
She's got two kinds. She's got, I think, an electric one, like, plugs in. She's got two different kinds of forges.
Two different kinds of forges. She's not really gorgeous. I can't believe I can't find this fucking coin. Why is this so difficult suddenly? I'm so sick of this happening when I'm trying to do something. All right, so let's try this then. I'll just do... Can I see your phone for a second, please? Okay, for a second, please. Okay, there you go. I just wanted it for a second. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, so what I'm looking up is the Victoria rare coin. So let's look that up. 1893 Victoria coin. Gold. You know what? Maybe this isn't a US coin, which is why. There you go. This isn't the clearest image. Let me see if I can find a clearer one. Okay, yeah, this is beautiful. So, look at this shit. So this is the 1887 to 1893 Great Britain Gold Sovereign Victoria Jubilee coin, average circulation. Okay, this is what it looks like on the front. Again, think about this. 1887. What's up, Matt? How you doing, bud? Okay. Now look at this rear side. What does this show you? You got to be kidding me, right? That's literally what Russia's flag is today. What, like, seriously, why would in 1887 why would they depict one of their Knights Templar knights stepping on the griffin? It's clearly the Tartaria griffin. Now, so you guys, for those that don't understand, Tartaria flag. So, understanding that this is the flag of Tartaria, right? This is the, look at, chubby girl. This is the flag of Tartaria. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the coin, and this is what the knight, look, this is what the knight is, what's the knight stepping on?
Looks like a griffin.
Look, it's the same image. To think about, like, you know, it's not just that people are like, hey, let's slap together some coins. They go through a pretty significant, like, there's a process. There's a whole vote. And then if you look here, this is the flag of Russia. Okay. That's their coat of arms, the double-winged dragon, double-winged eagle, just like everywhere else. But most importantly, oh, you can't. It's hard to zoom it in. When you zoom it into the center crest, you literally have the same thing. Let me see if I can find a better shot of it. There you go. Here's the image on the Russia flag. Doesn't that look slightly similar to that coin? Just slightly? Do you guys not... Like, think about it. The Mackenzie pedophile is here, doesn't like talking about coins, thinks it's boring, but is going to watch. Yesterday, this profile admitted not only that they are a proud pedophile, but they are a very proud pedophile. This is the only time I really do wish violence on people. I wish I could find them and just beat the fucking tar out of them.
It's not very nice.
I know. It's not supposed to be nice. I think people like that deserve not just death, but horrible death. And like I say, there are people out there that like to torture. They like to kill. They like to do really awful things. And either they're allowed to or they're not allowed to. Either way, they're going to do it. So I would much rather them be given somebody like Mackenzie, Brian Wallace, and be allowed to do whatever they want to that piece of shit than to, have to satisfy that urge with some random local girl or some shit like that, We have to acknowledge the reality that we live in. And the reality that we live in is there are horrible, awful people all around us. Most of them are capable of suppressing those urges and suppressing those needs. But clearly, they can't. And they fill the prisons and all that shit. That flag looks like the Gryffindor symbol in Harry Potter.
That's what I was thinking too. It's funny somebody said that.
Does the Harry Potter symbol have the stepping on the griffin too? It's called Gryffindor. That's really weird, don't you think? Gryffindor. Or one of the 4 groups in the movie anyway. They sneak in bits of truth in shows, movies, video games that I've seen a lot more since following you. And the reason that they do that is so that when you bring it up, the average person goes, You mean like Harry Potter? Come on, dude. Remember when everybody sort of started catching on to the idea of a lizard?
Okay, so this is
a lizard group that controls the world, blah, blah, blah. Immediately they put out that show V, not V for Vendetta, but the TV show V. I don't know if you remember it.
That one, but these are the 4 houses. 4 houses in the middle is Hogwarts. So there's the.
Yeah, these are pretty standard.
Gryffindor is gonna have a griffin, of course.
But they try their best to.
But it looks like a lion.
Yeah.
Griffin.
That's usually what griffins are. Griffins have the lion body and the dragon head, so to speak. And there were old buildings and castles in the movie. I mean, like I said, at this point, I'm just the worst person to watch a movie with. Because the entire time, I'm focused on the background. And to me, the background it took a while to learn how to do this. TV is designed to make you focus on the center. Everything you're supposed to focus on is in the foreground and in the center. And then the background is where they put all of their subliminal shit. How many of you guys know that in Wayne's World, if you look at the Wayne's World set, especially when they go, in Wayne's World, is it 2? Where the show gets bought and, they do the syndicated version of it. Is that might be 1. I think that's 1. Yeah, that's 1. 2 is when they do that dumbass concert. 1 is when they have to, or when they get bought out. There's a spot when they're showing the whole set and they're like, man, this is just like being in Wayne's room, but we're not in Wayne's room. In the background, there is a Moloch owl, just right there. And you always have to remember that, like, it wasn't just like somebody's room that just happened to have this thing that their grandma gave them and it was just made it into the set one day. They specifically chose that Moloch owl to be in that spot for a reason. And so, like, the background to me, again, it takes a minute for you to sort of make the connection. But when you focus on the background of things, and it's not just TV, it's paintings, it's pictures, it's whatever. Pay attention to what you're seeing. Look at the movies from the Hollywoodism. They love showing you footage from this angle, from down low, so that all you see is a couple of heads and you think there's a lot more people. Whenever there's not a lot of people, they show you this angle. When there's a lot, they show you from top, so you can just see how many people there actually is. And with most of the Hollywood stuff, where the people are just standing there getting filmed for some reason. If you First of all, if you pay attention to the number of people, it sure isn't the numbers that they try to say it is. But always look at the background. You never see some slavery camp shit going on, and most of the time in the background, you actually don't see anything. Almost like there's no one there. And anybody that ever has an issue with me talking about the Hollywood, remember, I'm from supposed Hollywood survivors. I believe them to be Project Operation Paperclip, but the narrative that I grew up with was that my grandfather was a Polish camp survivor.
Oh my God, I made a comment that he's a despicable moron on one of the reels.
Who?
The despicable moron that's running our country.
Oh.
And a chick I know actually said, he is a moron that has resolved 7 wars in less than a year. Not too bad.
He has resolved wars? What the fuck are they even talking about?
I just can't.
Like, if the TV says Trump did something and, he did it, trust us, there's no proof, there's no evidence, there's no, numbers or anything to show it. Just trust us, he did it. People are like, see, they're so desperate for something to hang on to. You should ask her, are those wars America First wars or were they foreign? Well, let's see. It's not stepping on, but it's similar standing up, pause in the area. No, me too, guy. That's why people hate watching movies with me. I always ask questions. Ask questions, and I'm always pointing out the architecture anymore. This is something new. I didn't used to do this. This is something, that sort of developed in the last couple of years. But to me, the architecture in the movies is just fucking fascinating. I mean, so there's this one bridge on Outer Drive, right? Literally like in the hood Outer Drive area, right when you get to Rouge Park, when you first go into it, there's this small bridge that goes over the Rouge, right? Like, there are multiple bridges throughout the park, and those bridges go over roads. So those bridges are probably newer than the bridge that goes over the water, right? The bridge that goes over the water, you guys just don't understand how hood this area is. This is not, there's nothing beautiful about this area. It's just trash. It's violence. It's ignorance. It's as bad as it gets right there. And yet this bridge has all of these individual pylons in it, and they're ornate shape.
Your video, but like,
Yeah.
what's up, D-Dog?
What's going on, my
Oh, I
man?
don't have any stands right now? Oh my god. I might just have to stick.
But to me, it's this bridge is like this bridge just doesn't fit, and the replacement cost of that bridge would be insane. But then when you think like it doesn't get replaced, it's super old. It's in an old area that's super decrepit. That doesn't get funding from anywhere or anything like that. So who's maintaining the upkeep on this bridge? No one. And yet it's still. I'm going to show you guys in the next week or so. I'll stop and we'll take a look at the bridge, and we'll see it for ourselves.
What is that?
But the what?
Message yesterday.
Tell them to come to the live. There's the link.
He sent a link.
Yeah, it's nothing.
I saw this and thought, could Chomsky be a spy for Israel, acting like he don't like Israel and Zionists, but is a spy to the leftist Jews of America? Because he was talking to Epstein the whole time. Wow. And he sent a link.
Yeah.
Chomsky and
Did you?
I don't know who
Norm
Chomsky.
Chomsky? Yeah, you know who Norm Chomsky is. Well, the thing is, and this is the question that you have to ask everybody when it comes to all the people you do bring up. Do you and I know who they are?
No.
Yeah, you do. You know who Norm Chomsky is. It's not registering, but you know who he is. If you know who they are, and if they're on TV, they're part of it.
You're allowed to get famous.
Right.
You're at least.
Aware.
Or just complicit in ignoring it, like.
Yeah, but you're aware of it. You're aware of what goes on. Absolutely.
I don't know. I really think that it's like the Mormon church, where, like, when you get in, you're still in the outer rings. You don't get it.
I don't know about what goes on in the Mormon church, but Mormons don't. You have.
Mormons don't. That's what I'm saying. The people, because I've been watching so many videos. And
They lie.
the outer ring doesn't know what the happenings of the center of the church are.
They lie. They have to lie. They have to lie to you, and they have to lie to themselves. If they didn't lie to themselves and tell themselves, I don't know what's going on, they couldn't humanly be a part of it anymore.
I saw a soft white underbelly about a Mormon that had left. He had been a Mormon he was a bishop, like Doug, similar to Doug. So he rose the ranks.
Did you
really
watch
fast.
the one with the Jewish girl? You
What
should
was her
watch.
problem?
I don't know. She was just a Hasidic Jew girl out of Philadelphia who left the fold. Yeah, she's actually good looking, and she talks about the abuse and the sexual abuse, and she talks about all of it. But she must be anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist.
Well, he was explaining that they go out of their way to keep things from the outer rings of the church.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The rumors happen.
He got his kids out of there.
Wait, rumors happen, and it's 2025. You are aware of the world around you. And you have seen things and heard about things that, I mean, again, this is something we all do. We all do it. My wife does this more than a lot of people. And it's because of who she is. She wants to believe the best in people. She wants to believe that people aren't lying. And you see this all the time. Like, are you calling me a liar? People will say that all the time. Like it's impossible that they tell a lie. Like they're not capable of telling a lie when everyone is.
I think you honestly give people too much credit because you are very observant and very aware. And you know, we have a tendency to assume everybody's like us in
I don't think that at all.
I think that there are less people that are aware than you realize.
I think they're
Like,
way
look at-
less aware than me, but they know. They know of something. They've seen something. They've seen something that if they wanted to, and it didn't benefit their salvation or their own personal thing, that in any other situation they would look into it. But because they know the rules, or maybe they even do look into it. Hey, did you see that? Isn't that kind of weird?
I mean, I'm just looking at the average white
And
Americans
I don't think the
around
average
us.
person can see a 50-year-old marrying a fucking 14-year-old and think it's okay. I don't even think you
No,
can be
but I
raised in that
don't
environment.
think that they think that's really going on. Is my point. They're not aware that that's
They
even-
absolutely
and
know
if
that.
they've heard of it, they push that. No,
That's
done.
exactly what I just said.
But
They are lying to themselves. So to lie to you about it is no big deal. They're almost not lying because they've lied to themselves so much that they've told themselves they believe one thing or another. So when they tell you, it's almost like they're not lying. Almost.
well, I don't think that lying is happening on a conscious level.
No, it is. It's a conscious level to protect the not only to protect the people involved, but again to protect their own delusion. You lie to yourself about your own. We have a neighbor that my wife was fond of. And for literally years, I would be like, she is an awful person. She is no, you just don't know her. Her and I have these conversations and, blah, blah, blah.
Awful
And,
person.
and
Misguided, but not.
no, she's an awful person. She is an awful person. See, that's what I mean. Because of the connection that they have, she overrides her her common sense. And if it was anybody else that did the things that this woman does, you would absolutely call her a horrible
I
person.
think somebody that truly feels like they're trying to save your soul is an awful person. Just because you don't.
I don't
like it,
think you're
don't
talking
like
to
it,
you're not talking about the same person I'm talking about.
next door.
No,
I don't know who you're talking
two down. The awful person that's married, that's with the other awful person.
about. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I never thought Ginger was an awful person. I never thought that at all. Ginger was fucking stupid. I mean,
Like
that's
you go to Brian and you say, fairly sensible. You go to him and you say, okay, do you think that it's common practice that in this particular group that they have sex with children and marry these-
depend on what particular group. Which one are you talking about?
the group that you're always talking about is what
Oh, well, a lot of their shit's hidden, but I bet you Brian would say yes. I bet you in a comfortable situation, Brian would say yes. Because no matter how much you want to think you guys are friends, you guys are neighbors. And he has an image to uphold. So when he's sitting around with his buddies, and his buddy's like, "You hear about this?" He's like, "Fuck yeah, I know." But he's not going to say that to you. He's not. Most people aren't going to be honest about that shit. Especially when it comes to them.
He's been like, I don't believe any of that bullshit.
When
That's
it
just-
comes to them, you've been told your whole life you're not even allowed to talk about them. You just, people don't understand the level of programming that we have when it comes to this particular issue. I mean, just think about me. If you go back and look at the songs, I first start mentioning them maybe 2013, 2014, something like that. Like there's a slight mention of them, but it's not, it's definitely not the focus. It's definitely, I'm still talking about them in particular, just them or the church or whatever it may be. I hadn't quite figured it out yet. And me personally, it took me a while before, like, knowing that what I'm saying is true, but being comfortable enough to say it because of the programming, to be able to say, to like how everybody talks about Muslims really openly and exaggerate, they exaggerate and they're often wrong,
nasty.
and nasty, but they just throw the shit out there like they know what they're talking about. Well, why don't we do that same thing with them? We do it with Christians. We do it with Mormons, with Scientologists, with everybody. Everybody is fair game, but this one group. Well, why do you think that is? And this is the challenge, right? Because they've interwoven themselves into so many different things. You know, I mean, most people here are Christians. Most people in the United States are Christians. So inherently, they believe that if they speak out, they're speaking against their God's chosen people. And to do that might jeopardize their salvation. It's the same reason why you don't see Christians like in droves demanding that the churches do a fucking clean out and get rid of all the pedos and arrest them all and all that shit.
They'd fucking be empty.
It wouldn't be empty, but it'd be close to it.
60% of their churches down because they wouldn't have enough clergy to cover all of the locations.
Sure. And that's that's exactly what should happen.
Vatican halls would be echoing.
Right. It should have. Why isn't that what? Why isn't that happening? If it was your kid that got violated, wouldn't you want everybody to think that way? Wouldn't you want everyone around you and people you don't even know to stand up for your kid and
I mean, we
persecute the violator?
We saw that struggle in my family. You know, when the nun gets molested, her dad goes to, be there for her.
There was literally no
other
struggle.
Child's a priest, and the priest took the church's side.
Right. What kind of fucking but
that was
so
still more going on.
So at this point, because it's a family member, you don't look at it deeper. But if it was anyone else, you'd go, well, he's probably a violator himself. Why else would he be willing to overlook a violation on that level?
He was adamant that it was just a couple of bad apples.
Doesn't matter.
Not prevalent in the church. He believed that those people needed to get punished for what they did. But
punished like average people get punished?
Not hold the whole church accountable. This was his, this was just an isolated incident.
Okay, but again, that's a chosen perspective. That's not reality. Reality is like as a religious person, you are made into a piece of shit. Do you understand that? In any other circumstance, if you knew that there was violations going on against children and you didn't say anything, you'd be an accomplice. You'd be held accountable as well. And yet, when it comes to your church, you just, that's fucking...
Well, when you're raised to believe that that's a higher honor than joining the military, to turn around and say that they're evil like that, an evil organization, that's shaking your foundations to the core.
I can't,
especially if you've taken that path.
Sure, and I guess I can understand that.
Life.
Right, it comes down to selfishness.
Well, he doesn't make a ton of money. He has a happy life.
Right, he doesn't want to rock his boat, and that really, you are an asshole. You're a piece of shit. I'm sorry. You can. Oh, but he's a clergy. So when you have an organization that is the preferred membership are people who could override their God-given natural instincts to procreate, to just be with, to have touch. To have interaction and all that, like there's something wrong with that person.
Okay, but that's not the case there, because again, in the Greek church, if you are married before you are ordained, you can remain married and have sex and have kids.
You can't have sex. You can have sex for procreation purposes. You don't get to have sex for
He got
pleasure.
married before he was ordained, and he has 3 kids. You know, and so does his cousin, not my other cousin, that's a priest. He got married before he was ordained.
There
was
are
a player.
there are some loopholes there.
Perry was a fucking womanizer before he became ordained.
Right, and that just shows you what a lying ass piece of shit he is. I mean,
Now he's all. Perry is way holier than Mikey. It's weird.
yeah, well,
Weird
again,
talking to him.
it wouldn't even
Like
be.
an alien.
But see, it's interesting because when you talk to these people, there are these unsung, unspoken rules to the conversation.
Oh yeah, don't bring up the past.
Right, you're not allowed to bring shit up.
Before that was a different person. I'm a priest now.
That wasn't a different person. And didn't you know you wanted to be a priest?
Not at first, no. He didn't. He wasn't Mikey.
Okay, but at some point he did, and still did what he did. And more so, to me, like, I don't give a fuck.
I want to be a priest, so I gotta hurry up and get married so I can still fucking and be a priest. Like, that to me is fucked up.
It's all fucked up. It's all fucked up and stupid. Are the comments off? Is that what's happening here?
Does God not know you circumvented his rules?
I mean, it's just
Purposely?
it's fucking stupid.
This shit's dumb as fuck.
Listen, at the end of the day, you're not providing anything to justify or validate your claim. You know, I can't imagine if I became world famous as a guy who can fly like Superman, and yet nobody's ever seen me do it. You just have to have faith that I can do it. Yeah, I did it the other day when nobody was around.
Okay, but you're human, and that's not humanly possible. God is not human.
How, like I keep saying, how can anybody prove that God isn't working through me? How do you know that? How do you know that God, the real God, doesn't absolutely hate everything that's been used, that's been created in its name, hates religion, hates all the shit that the opulence, the rape, the control, the fucking segregation, all of the shit associated with religion. It absolutely hates that. So it's working through me to break it. How can you prove that that's not the case?
Because there would be a sign, some sort of stigmata, something showing and you know,
Who are you to question that? Who are you to question that? How is the sign not my abilities? How is the sign not my ability to write fucking mathematically precise, amazing songs? How is it not my ability to speak orally for hours on end without going, here, let me think, no prompting, none of that.
Have you parted a Red Sea?
Yeah.
Have you walked on water?
Yeah, I've parted the Red Sea a couple of times.
Gross.
But see, all
You
but
turned
see,
water into wine.
but see, all of that shit is, again, how do you know? You're basing that off of the man-made 1611 supposedly King James Bible bunch of bullshit. How do you know that God doesn't hate all of that? And all of the things that you would think, like stigmata, God's like, there's no fucking stigmata, that's stupid. That's why you haven't seen it on cell phones. That's why stigmata stopped happening in the 90s and shit. You know? God's like, what are you fucking talking about? It's fucking turning water into wine. That's stupid. You guys are fucking supposedly drinking blood and eating fucking flesh, you sick fucks. How the fuck did that happen? I never wanted that to happen. What do you mean? I sent my son down there I impregnated a virgin to fucking die for the sins. Who the fuck is collecting for the sins? I'm God. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody has to collect for the sins for any that. Who the fuck who's gonna push that punishment? Who is Jesus dying for? Who's like, Jesus has to die? All these sinners around here, too much sin. So Jesus has that's fucking stupid. I wouldn't do anything like that. How do you know God's not like that? How do you know it's like God's not like, yeah, women are equal? What do you mean they can't drive unless a fucking man is in the car and it's sunlight out? What do you mean you're killing gay people? If I didn't want gay people, I'd stop making them, you dumb fucks. How do you know that's not...
That was the devil. That was the devil.
Did you not see my questions about the movie and asking questions? Nope. Didn't see any things about movies, dude. Sorry. I just saw those two questions. Or those two comments. I mean, everything that has to do with religion... what if God's like, what the fuck? Why the fuck are you cutting off the fucking... the foreskin? What's wrong with you? I put that there. And these people are sucking on it? What the fuck are you talking about? No, that's not... I'm not cool with that.
Then he would punish.
Well, God doesn't do that, though. That's old God. You know, God doesn't punish anymore.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
When you go to your judgment day, if you don't pass that test, you go to
Okay,
hell.
that's all. That is all Christian bullshit. See what I mean? You can't, because of the programming running so deep, you can't get past it. Everything you think you believe about God is because they told you to. There's no like actual factual that they're basing that on. They just made it all up. So how do you know that you know any of it's real?
None of it is.
Exactly.
None of it is. All of these arguments
But if
that
you
I give you that are
if you believe that stuff,
Christians,
right? But see, that's just it. And that's it. That's the thing is once you start breaking down the narrative, you start realizing how stupid and bullshit it is. Well, if you were really being, you know, God was really working through you, then blah, blah, blah would happen. Based on what? Well, the Bible says, ding, 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 ding.
What proof is there that God is working through anybody? And historically, when people say the proof, it's usually in the form of a stigmata or, you know, something.
I mean, not really. There's a guy, one of the most famous religious people in the world. All he does is stare. He just stands there and looks, and apparently he has this look about him that's so... Oh, I gotta find it.
No way.
He's huge. Prophet.
Even the Mormon dude that was talking, like...
Stairs.
So he said that Mark asked him, like, what made you make the change? And he goes, you know, I came home from one of my elder meetings, and my wife was sitting there, and she had her head down on the table. She was, like, really distraught. And she said, you know, he said, we were on a mission a while back, and somebody was trying to bring me some literature trying to show me, you know, prove that the Mormon church is wrong. He said, what we're taught is anything that speaks against the Mormon church is the devil. It is the devil. So, you know, I was brushing him off like, you know, no, that's the devil. I'm not even looking at it. That's the devil. He goes, so I came home this day and my wife was like really distraught. And she finally said to me, what if what they were saying is true? What if the Mormon church is like bullshit? What if Joseph Smith isn't, you know, the prophet, the Messiah, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I don't think I believe it anymore. And she said, don't worry. I'll play the part and I'll do what we need to do until, you know, you're ready.
Does anybody know who I'm talking about? I'm listening.
The guy that was staring.
Yeah, I'm saying, does anybody know who he is? I can't find him.
And he said, so, you know, I started reading into it and started realizing that, oh my gosh, Joseph was this horrible person.
Horrible person.
He did these awful things.
If you even believe the narrative, that's the thing is because they create these narratives, like the stupid people that create the narrative go, you know what? If we make him this horrible person and then he came to the light, you see, it's more, it's and instead of realizing like this is gonna make him look like a con man because he was a con man.
Well, since
And
prophets
and the
are
reality is it's not true anyway.
handed down. I don't know the name of the current prophet, but they're handed down. Joseph Smith was just the original, so now the living one is the new prophet. But like he said, it was just like a veil being lifted up, and everything that I knew and believed was wrong. And then he had to escape, and it's very much like we see on the shows when they have to escape and run, and he's got kids, and it's fucking wild. But yeah, it was just all of a sudden his wife actually decided to read into it and do further research, and it rocked her world. Her husband was a fucking bishop high up in this awful organization.
I mean, this is the same thing that like with Stephanie, right? So Stephanie had a thing where she did like a mushroom cleanse kind of thing. And when she was going through it, she was having like a really hard time. It was bringing up a bunch of shit, and she was scared, and she said she was scared, and she was crying, and she was crying out to Jesus to help her, and she needed him, and she never did this, she never prays, but at this point she felt like she needed Jesus, and she was screaming out for him, and nothing happened. He never came, and it sort of shook her to the core, like, oh my God, and
It broke my heart.
but I just look at people like that and I go, oh, okay. So because it happens to you, now you care. Oh, okay. So while you're watching Israel bomb the shit out of children after starving them to death, that wasn't enough to make you think there's no fucking God. Of course, no God is going to let that happen. But when you're going through a bad trip and you need God and he doesn't show up to guide you through it, now you question things?
Well, people don't wear pink ribbons unless they have a family member that's affected by breast cancer. Although the whole population knows breast cancer is a motherfucker, we should all support finding a cure, right?
Yeah, but wearing a
doesn't
fucking
affect
pink
you.
ribbon doesn't lead to a cure.
No, but it's showing your support.
What does that do? That does nothing. All that does is make you
They
feel
think
better
that
about your own
buying
what you're
that
doing.
pink ribbon, the money's going to help.
Right,
That's
but
what they think.
but you doing that doesn't. Nobody else sees that and goes, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do that too." That's not how that works. That pink ribbon is like it's like a
But you don't
I
care.
voted sticker. So you can walk around and be like, "Oh, I voted. Look, I did it." Yeah.
People don't care enough to talk about something unless it affects them, is my point.
And that was my point. That's what I'm saying. You're a fucking asshole.
Does it make you an asshole?
Yes, it does. It makes you an asshole that you refuse to acknowledge all of the evidence against your thing until it happens to you.
Well, not when the people around you are providing reasons for that evidence.
It doesn't matter. No, there is no reason.
The devil covers so much of it.
There
and they
is-
use that over and over.
So
And it's the
so
work
then
of
are
the
you
devil.
saying the devil is doing is Israel's work?
Yes.
Like it becomes that sort of
Yes.
thing.
That is what they say.
But then you're going against your circle. It's all one big circle. So God's chosen people are doing it. Well,
Well, see,
and a lot of
the
people go,
average person-
"Oh, that's the synagogue of Satan" and shit like that. But
the average Christian doesn't look at modern Jews as the chosen people. They look at that.
No, they do. That's
old
why-
world style.
no, now you're putting your intelligence on things.
No. You ask
The
any of
modern
these
day
Christian
people,
idiots around us.
the reason why they're not up in arms about our money being stolen and given to this pedophilic genocidal organization is because those are still God's chosen people. And if you look at at the Netanyahus and the Bezalel Smotriches and even the Trumps of the world, they continuously point to the connections between Israel and the Bible. They're always doing that shit. But I mean, again, it just, you can say one thing or another, but there's a reality here. The reality is, you've lived in a world that has shown you repeatedly the worst child molesters are religious people. The people most associated with child molestation is the church, and then the cover-up aspect of it. You know that shit is what's happening.
Oh, the Mormon Church?
They literally have a TV show called Escaping Polygamy that's played on the fucking TV, and it literally shows these young girls, these young women like in their 20s who escaped, trying to help other people escape, and then the Mormons stopping them,
Shooting at them.
right? How does that exist?
Mark also did an interview with a 25-year-old girl that grew up Mormon and had to escape and all that. She was describing the teachings when they're young. It is up to all the kids in the Mormon Church. The adults don't go out and
separate.
make money. It's up to the kids to go out and make money. So they send these kids out to make all this money. And the literature that they share between each other is all about normalizing adults having sex with kids. I mean, the shit she was saying, I wanted you to see that video, but you weren't around at the time.
That's what I mean.
It's fucking disgusting.
It's not hidden. It's not a secret. If you don't know about stuff, it's because you don't want to.
But see, to that extent, like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but you know when it comes to the biggest fucking predator organization in the world, the one that's the most associated with pedophilia, it is the Catholic Church, without a doubt, as far back as time goes. And there is more than enough evidence to show you that that's the case. So for you to not know it or not be opposed to it is literally a choice you're making based on your own salvation. It's all this, it's all designed to protect those at the top. I mean, what's one of the main tenets of the Bible? The main tenets of the Bible is to be happy with what you have. Don't try to make your life better. Don't pine for other things. Don't want other things. Don't covet thy neighbor's good. I can't go to my neighbor's house and be like, oh, wow, that's a really nice TV. We were in the market for a new TV. I like this TV. I want a TV just like yours. Oh, you've sinned. I mean, these kinds of things are we're not talking about complex fucking math and shit here. And actually the real reality to it is, ask any of them. Ask any Christian, ask any Mormon, ask any Muslim, ask any Lutheran, ask any of them. Hey, I don't necessarily believe what you believe. Can you help me understand? Can I ask you some questions that contradict or that I believe are contradictions or negatives? Can you just answer these questions for me? And 100% of the time, it's going to lead to a fight. 100% of the time. They never respond well to it. They never respond, oh, you want to know more? Oh, great. Yeah, here, let me help you understand things. That is never something you'll hear a Christian say. Why do you have my sock on?
It's not.
Is it a K-Swiss? Yeah, it's my sock.
No, they're mine.
No, they're not. They're mine.
Sweetheart, the heel's right here.
They're my
These are
socks.
not your socks.
They're
No,
my
Mom
socks.
got me these.
She got me those too.
She got you maybe a bigger size.
She didn't. She didn't. They're small on me, that's for sure. But they're mine.
Those ones are mine, you dum-dum.
No, they're not.
She was getting yours from...
I remember when I got them, because when I got the new socks, I opened them up and put a pair on, and I opened them up and I started laughing because they were so small. And it was like, oh, well, they'll stretch, don't worry. Okay, and they do. They stretch to mid-level socks. What I want, I want to get some of those 3-stripe old school socks. Those
Even
tube
sell those
socks.
anymore?
I don't know. I want those socks though. You know, my gym teacher instilled in me that those socks help you perform better. Gotta
No,
pull
they
them up.
help your circulation though.
Hey, gotta pull them up.
Yeah, I don't think I want to get you those because you're gonna wear them with shorts.
Short shorts.
No.
I'm gonna start getting some short shorts too. I mean, I just, at the end of the day, I'm talking about like us humans unifying and making our lives better. What is religion telling you? I mean, seriously, if you look into the foundations of it all, it's embarrassing, it's stupid, it's boring. I can't find that guy. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? That guy that just does this, the religious, the stare,
No,
and people come from miles around us. No, I'm telling you, he's like an Indian guy or some shit.
He's not a priest.
No, but he's got the Christ look, I think they call it.
The Christ look. What the fuck is a Christ look? Is that like a Chrysler?
Yes. Oh, where the fuck is it? God damn it. I don't know the guy's name. God damn it. He's like a faith healer. Let me try that. Faith healer who stares. Maybe that'll give it to me. There it is. Bracco the Grazer.
Hold on.
Bracco the Grazer. I knew it.
The idea behind the original name Selkirk Sport came from
Bracco.
Brazzo? He doesn't
Brazzo.
speak. He cases
He kind of looks like Ada.
7,000 people come to one single event to meet Brazzo because they feel something through Brazzo's gaze.
Look at.
My name is Ria. I'm from Slovenia and I'm working in Brazzo's team. When he stands in front of groups of people,
That's all he does.
they feel a sense of hope.
They start crying and shit.
Like life makes sense again. People say that it is life-changing for them.
It's life-changing to watch this guy stand there.
The power of his gaze, but still
The
they
power
don't
of his gaze.
know
How did he figure this out?
People are searching for the sense of fulfillment.
Where is he
If
from?
we
Slovakia?
don't have any hope,
Look at.
life is just dark. And Brazzo gives them.
That's what he does. He just stands there and stares, and they just look at him, and is that Naomi Campbell?
Life
think
is
so, no.
just dark. And
She's too
Brazzo gives them a sense of strength and a sense
I
of
think that's Naomi Campbell. That's Naomi Campbell.
No way.
Yes.
She's too young. She's old now.
That's Naomi. This is old. That's Naomi Campbell.
She does look like her.
That's Naomi Campbell. If it's not, she needs to be a supermodel.
strength and a sense of purpose in themselves.
A sense of strength and purpose, because this guy just looks at you. You got to be kidding me. Let's look him up. Let's do a deep dive into Brazzo. Bracco. Brazzo faith healer. You guys think I'm lying. I don't talk about things unless I know there's reality to it. I don't know why I have to keep earning that position with you motherfuckers. He's 58 years old. I mean, this is meaningful to you? Do you feel anything when looking at that?
Creepy.
Right. That's what he does. Well, I'm moving too much. He doesn't even move. I'm sorry. I can't even do it. Let's see what this has to say. Ooh, got booted, so waited a little while before sneaking back in. How come Karen always talks about getting booted, but none of you do? What's different about Karen's feed other than she's a longtime follower and is her and I are vocal? Ask that question to yourself, guys. How does one guy convince millions of people that he's special by staring at them? But someone like me who's like, here, let me inform you. I'm the one that struggles in all of this. All right. Joseph Gerbavac, Grabavac, born November 23rd, 1967, better known as Brazzo, Braco, but it's pronounced Brazzo. Sometimes called the Gazer. The Gazer. His Brazzo the Gazer is a Croatian self-styled healer. He does not touch, speak to, diagnose, or treat people who have come to see him. Rather, he stands on a platform and gazes. He avoids direct claims to have the ability to help people with his eye contact, but it is strongly implied, and supporters report it causing improved well-being. That just goes to show you that if you believe something, it affects you. Brazzo was born Josip Grabovic in Zagreb, SR, Croatia, Yugoslavia, on November 23rd, 1967. He earned a degree in economics. That doesn't like, you don't go, oh, so he figured out, he earned a degree in economics and was like, you know what's a great fucking field? Faith healing. I got to be a faith healer, but what can I do? I got this weird voice, so I can't talk to people. Like, I wonder what his voice sounds like. What if he has this super high-pitched voice? He earned an economics degree in Croatia. Isn't that like passing third grade here in the States? I know Croatia is a huge city. I'm just fucking kidding. He began practicing healing after the 1991 through 95 Croatian War of Independence. Brazzo's mentor was Ivica Pročić, it's probably like Pročić, a Serbian economist whom he met in the autumn of 1993. That's his mentor. Somebody mentored him on how to make money. Pročić suggested the name Brazzo, meaning little brother. Pročić died in 1995 while on holiday. Oh, mysterious death, huh? The two were alone on a beach in South Africa when Brazzo says a, quote, rogue wave swept Pročić away after he had first taken off all the gold jewelry he traditionally wore along with his socks and wallet. And this is a believable story to people? Can you imagine if you tried to say, the person I was with died because of a rogue wave and getting away with that shit? Oh, I swear it was a rogue wave. No, I swear. Took off all his jewelry, gave me his wallet and shit, and a rogue wave just took him out.
I mean, maybe Aquaman had summoned all of the sea creatures.
Oh, they were trying to put out the fire on.
Big wave.
Right, because the ocean was on fire, because the Legion of Doom had made the ocean on fire.
To kill that dude, so he summoned the big wave to suck the dude out.
I mean, seriously, that actually makes more sense.
Aquaman and pigeons, man.
What do you think? What do you think the chances are that I'm gonna look up this guy, and there's gonna be immediately some fucked up bullshit associated with him that I guess you just have to have faith in, huh? They tried to arrest him, and they were like, "What's going on here?" And he was like, and they were like, "Sir, stop it, please. Stop it, please, sir. We need to know what's going on here." Okay, you're innocent. Okay, rogue wave, gotcha. Okay. Oh, we're sorry. Just stop staring at me. The two were alone on a beach in South Africa when Brazzo says a rogue wave swept Prozik away after he had first taken off all of his gold jewelry he traditionally wore, along with his socks and wallet. How many people a year are killed by rogue waves, sweeping them off of a beach? Man. People. Oh, wait, that's not it. People killed by rogue waves each.
I mean, you're gonna get surfers and shit. That's
Yeah.
different than standing on a beach and just being sucked up by a random wave that only sucked him up. Not the dude
There's
standing
no-
next to him holding his keys and shit.
But data from 2011 to 2018 recorded 386 deaths, averaging about 48 per year during that period. While these deaths are often far out at sea, rogue waves can and do impact coastal areas and vessels, sometimes killing people on beaches or damaging ships.
Okay, but is it gonna be selective and just kill the one dude on the beach, but not the one standing next to him,
Yes.
holding his clothes? Here, hold my
Yes.
beer. Don't get it wet. Shit's stupid. Man, I got
CBC says rogue waves are little known and can kill. Here's why. A rogue wave is characterized as one that is 2.2 times larger than the average wave around it. Jesus Christ. All right. Whatever. After Prozik's death, Brazzo initially saw people one-on-one. However, due to a large number of people who started coming to see him, he began gazing at groups. How did this even begin? How do you do that? I need to figure this out. Come to my house, make a donation. I'm not going to ask you to pay me, but make a really hefty donation. I'll stare at you for like 5 minutes, and then you'll be all good. Seriously.
Stupid.
This is his gazing section. At public events, Brazzo stands on a podium following a 10-minute period of introduction and silently looks at members of the audience for a period of 5 to 10 minutes.
That's creepy. That's a long time.
Yeah, but it's not. You pay you pay this money to buy these tickets. You travel all the way to this show. You listen to somebody warm you up for 10 minutes about how awesome this guy is. He comes out, stares at you for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then leaves. I mean, I guess if he put on a full-fledged concert for like an hour, it would be even more weird, I guess. He literally stands for 5 to 10 minutes and gets paid out the badingus.
What do they pay for? How much is it?
We'll find out. Afterwards, during a period called meditation and reflection by supporters, believers have claimed to experience life changes, healings, and positive experiences. According to supporters, during the gaze time, they feel tingling, see energy or a golden aura, or experience peace or relief from pain. Brazzo reportedly does not call himself a healer or claim to have spiritual powers. Brazzo reportedly has not spoken to the press or in public since 2002. I think he has a goofy voice. He hasn't spoken in public since 2002. Participants and event organizers claim that his gaze has cured physical diseases such as cancer and respiratory disease. You would think, if you're a guy like this, right, you apparently have such an ability that you don't claim you have an ability, but you sure do exploit the shit out of it. that you would go, listen, I'm the real deal. I'm the real deal here. So if you want to do some sort of scientific testing or something like that, let's do it. I want to prove to the world that what I do is special and possible, and I want to help as many people as possible. And if I prove it scientifically, then I will, the amount of people that I can help from that point will just be astronomical. So I'm going to I'm trying to help as many people as possible. That's the good thing, right? That's the noble way of looking at it. Believers claim Bratzo's physical presence is not necessary, and gazing at a picture or video of him can be sufficient for healing. What the fuck are we even talking about here? Who are these people? I would give a lot to be able to have an interview with one of these people. When touring, Bratzo holds gazing sessions at his center in Zagreb, Croatia. Bratzo's Croatian events draw thousands of people, totaling to over 200,000 annually. Over 200,000 people. Even if 200,000 people gave you $1, you'd be living a great fucking life.
Per event? Yeah.
Whatever. If 200,000 people gave you $1 once annually, they're saying that they get over 200,000 people annually. So if they only gave $1, he's rich as fuck. And they're giving way more than $1, right? I swear to God, 90% of what you inhale flies out. I watch it. You need to start adjusting it. That's why you smoke so much. Criticism. In her column for the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry, Karen Stolznow wrote that since all reports of healing are anecdotal and that Bratzo's alleged healing abilities have never been proven under test conditions, she writes that there is no scientific evidence that Bratzo's gazing has any benefits at all. The article also disagrees with Bratzo's statements that he makes no claims of healing ability, saying, however, the no claim is disingenuous. When the claims come from the public or his crew, the claims are promoted by and therefore made by Bratzo. And then that's it. That's all I get. I swear to God, that is fucking insane. This is another one of those things where I tell you this exists, and I'm right, but there's that pre-programming that's in your head that comments, nobody's that stupid. Come on. That can't be true. I know it's true, but it can't be true. If it's true, it's probably much smaller than you're saying it is. Which, I have a problem with that sometimes. I am a size queen. And I always exaggerate. And then it's a lot smaller than what you think. Yeah, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. He looks like Ada. Doesn't he look like Ada?
Yeah.
That is Naomi Campbell.
Is it really? That's so weird.
That's her.
Is it?
Maybe it's that other girl that looks just like her.
Naomi Campbell.
No, that is Naomi Campbell, motherfucker.
No way. Really?
Joseph Grabak Bratzo, whose admirers include supermodel Naomi Campbell, has amassed an international following with his claims to heal people by simply gazing at them. So does he talk to her?
He has to, I would imagine.
Healer Joseph Grabavak, known as Bratzo, Croatian for little brother, continues to attract followers across the world who seek to benefit from what he calls his gift of the gaze. Last weekend, Last weekend, 3,500 Romanians paid 10 euros each to see Brazzo in Bucharest and receive his blessing and healing gaze.
Wow.
He made $35,000 for what works out to be 5 to 10 minutes worth of work, right?
Well,
Worth of standing.
does he lead the meditation after?
How? How could he? He doesn't talk.
Well, during that session, he doesn't talk the 5 minutes.
No, he hasn't spoken in public since
Oh,
2002.
not at all.
That's
So,
what
yeah,
spoken.
he's not doing the meditation. So yeah, his time is 5 minutes. He pays staff to do the rest.
And this is like, to me, to think, we are poor. Do you understand that you and I are poor? And this guy makes $35,000 over the weekend by staring at people?
Hey, Dad, can I look something up on your phone?
No, not right now.
Wait, it's on here?
Yeah,
Can I use your phone?
sure.
What are you looking up?
I need something in the I can install the chest. Transfer and you
Don't mess
Just let me know when you're done. I'll come get it, okay? Oops, sorry.
Sorry, Dad, sorry for swearing. I don't beat me, please.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. Because I would be beating you.
such an ass.
He's the ass.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said I was. Although Brazzo insists that he only heals people by gazing at them, a feat it is claimed that he can also achieve via Skype or internet live stream. He's like Christy Moreno, man. She can talk to your dead relatives through Facebook Live. Yeah, she did it to you. She gave you that fucking really, really great reading that was super accurate
That shit
and
was
made so much sense.
so funny.
It was bad, man. It was so bad.
Like really.
And then I got in trouble because I kept saying, this is... Actually, I was quiet the whole time. I actually let it happen until the one time where she said, you know, I'm sensing that this person was like, you know, really smart and she said something like this person was like a really good person who was, you know, sort of outspoken, but also kept to themselves and shit like something crazy like that. And I was just like, you just described everybody. What are you talking about? And she was saying things like I think she was saying something about how this person was smart, not like brilliant smart, but like smarter than most people. And it's like, nobody's going to sit there and be like, no, my relative was really stupid.
The relative that had just died was no scholar.
Right. And she knew that relative died, but she had forgotten the details, so she was trying to like make it work. Because when I asked her to do it for me, apparently there was nobody in the queue. And you know, she didn't know that I had had any relatives die recently. But she knew about Angela. And she was like, well, I don't have anybody for you, but there seems to be somebody that wants to talk to Angela.
I remember laughing. Like, okay, here we go, you dumb bitch.
Well, and she kept saying, you know, I just want yes and no answers. So she would say stuff, and Hans would look at me and be like, am I supposed to say something? Like, this isn't a yes and no question. What am I supposed to do? It was just so fucking silly. It was so silly. And of course she got mad. She told me that because I was her friend, I should just believe her and support her.
In love with you, so that
And I was like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, because you're my friend, you're going to get more scrutiny than most. If you're my friend and I give a shit about you, I don't want you to go out there and look like a fucking moron. And I definitely am going to hold you accountable for lying to people and fucking with their lives, because that shit is dangerous. You can open up wounds for people. You can, you know. Then again, anybody that actually believes you can do it is already admitting that they're the dumb sheep needed. You know, if you believe somebody can talk to dead people through fucking Facebook, especially, you're just an idiot. You're a desperate idiot. And it's sad because your desperation comes from this place of like, there's this unfinished business, unhealed wound or whatever, and her like end all be all, you know, like the like the big payoff in each of her readings was that the person you were concerned about forgives you, holds no grudges, loves and cares about you, and will be watching over you,
Proud of you.
and was proud of you, and is going to be watching over you forever. And that was it. That was the same message she gave to everybody. And I, you know, you could say that provides hope, but that's false hope, and that's just like ridiculous. All that is this understanding that if you would have died first, whatever the situation is with that person, you would have, you know, you would have forgiven them. So you just assume they would forgive you. But this is just one of these things where it's like, again, you know, we're not supposed to call people liars. Like, I'm not supposed to insinuate that this Brazzo guy is lying, or that Christy Moreno is lying, or that people in the audience that say they're healed is lying. Do you know how incredibly possible it is that the biggest reactions come from paid actors? Like that's you know, and what? He's going to say, no, I swear that's not true. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, well, you would never lie to me about this thing that generates multi-millions of dollars for you. Any of these people try to have it out with me. Have a reasonable, intelligent debate with me. I give my wife credit because she does it all the time.
What do I do?
Have the argument, the debate, the, you know, you play devil's advocate a lot of the time, and you point shit out. I appreciate it. But like I would much rather talk to an actual believer. And I just want to know, like, why? What's the benefit here? Your own personal benefit outweighs all the negativity associated with it. Like, let's just say God did provide, like, you could say, yeah, every time I pray for something, it just shows up. No return address or anything. It just shows up. Like, that would be great, right? Does your own personal benefit override the fact that the clergy is constantly raping children? Does like, I just personally, and that's probably why I'm in the situation I'm in. Because instead of looking out for number 1, 2, 3, and 4, I see the bigger picture thing. And really, you know, I want my kids, my grandkids, their kids, you know, I want all those people to live fantastic lives. And I don't see that being the case the way the world is going. You know, and if I had been wrong consistently over these years, you know, if I was somebody that was telling you, oh, it's all going to end in 2020 and 2012, it's all going to end, it's all going to end, it's all going to end. I can admit that in 2012, December 21st, 2012, we had a baby, and that baby required the sensitive formula. And not knowing what was going to happen as far as reaction-wise goes, I did not want us to be put in a situation where a baby didn't have formula because of something stupid. Did I believe that the fucking Mayan calendar end of the world thing was going to happen? No. I was much more concerned about people's stupidity and belief. But I did go out and buy extra bottles of formula that one time because I just wasn't sure. Other than that, you know, I'm not for any of it. None of the doomsday predictions or anything. It's all stupid shit. But like, it's strange to me because, you know, like I say, I've been right. You know, I've been nothing but right this whole time. To the point where, like, if it was somebody else, you would have said that they had psychic powers. I told you guys about COVID before COVID was going to happen. If you don't believe me, go listen to Vaxxed Part 2, Part 2. Vaxxed Part 1, Part 2 is lost to the ether somewhere. Not really sure what happened. Charles seems to have lost it. But I could read it to you. These songs were written in October-ish, maybe September, maybe November of 2019. And they talk about how, you know, there's an upcoming program where they're going to try to give us the this and that and the other. Like, I talk about it. There have been many things over the years where I've done something similar. I predicted Charlie Kirk, not person-wise, but said, look, there's been sort of a lull, and there seems to be, we seem to be right for one of these shooting situations that creates division, unifies, but also creates division amongst, you know, the different groups. You know? And these are sort of vague predictions, but, you know, when it comes to the October 7th false flag, that wasn't vague. You know, that one I flat out told you. I said that if Israel, this was starting in maybe like April or May of that year. I said if Israel doesn't do some sort of huge false flag attack and then use it to justify the genocide, then by December of 2023, I said, you know what? I'll give myself a little bit of a window, maybe February at the latest, but I don't feel that at all. But by the end of December of 2023, Israel will have done the unthinkable. And once they got into the visa waiver program on September 30th, I was like, oh yeah, here we go. It's gonna. I didn't think it would happen a week later. I didn't think they were that brazen.
And the well allow the goal. Thank you, Brian, Dell,
Brian
Susan,
Burrows,
Polly, Andrew, Senator Kennedy, and
Senator
most
Kennedy.
importantly, thank you everyone who shared their story. You are the heroes in all of this.
So this song was written about to coincide with the release of Vaxxed Part 2. I watched Vaxxed Part 2, and, you know, we were supposed to actually do the soundtrack for Vaxxed Part 2, but Brian Burrows is a douchebag, so he made some promises he never lived up to. And the reason why Vaxxed Part 2 Part 1 is missing is because he was the one that was supposed to make the video for it. And told me for over a year, yeah, I'm going to get to it next week. I promise. To the point where after a full year around Christmas time, at Christmas time the next year, the Christmas of 2020, because this started in 2019 and then went to 2020. By Christmas of 2020, he actually cash apped me $150 to buy something nice for my kids for Christmas because he felt bad. Like, it was serious. This wasn't just some fly-by-night thing. You know, he let us on for over a year. But if you listen to the words in this, I'm contradicting the movie in a way. Listen.
I don't call it autism. I say it's something else. Like seeing light pass through a prism, the picture painted shows our health is much more than the wealth allow the goy to see. And the hand the goy are forcibly dealt corrupts biology. And it's applied for free, like I said in part 1. So the full horse that I feed was mentioned. Now I'm done. Since this time I want to run with the notion we've been duped by the group that thinks it's fun to sell us primordial soup is how we fell into the loop. But also, there's a Jesus. They serve us both their scoops, and the sheep fight to believe it. But as much as it's repeated, it only leads to questions. Like, have we really been impeded to the point we lack aggression? And why aren't goyim stressing, demanding better answers to the fact we are regressing, not curing AIDS or cancer? But we finally have our chance for a chance to win the game. You must see the true disaster before you light the flame. It's not your fault you've been assaulted, you were taught to be this way. In this cult, some are exalted, starring in this faulty play. But if they're caught and we're appalled with how we're bought and sold each day, we'll break the vault that hides the culprits, altering our DNA. My problem is my metaphors, I'm not direct enough. I need to use a better sword when cutting through the tough stakes that have us stuck in perpetual submission. Their fake news is the bluff, nagging at your intuition, since again, it's not autism, it's something different altogether. And our blinding lack of vision means it's something that we'll never see as more a clever use of misdirection. Since no one's getting better, we don't see it as infection or a biological weapon targeting our best, destroying comprehension, yet leaving all the rest to grow into a mess, a burden on the parent. If you're stuck with the effects, it affects all of your merits. Everything you've cherished and all you've taken for granted rapidly starts to perish, yet it's not called underhanded. We're told we're on a planet, yet we're never pushed to ask why the moon we're told we landed on so comically in our past.
It's divine,
It's not
baby.
your fault you've been assaulted, you were taught
Telling you,
this way.
your God's working through me.
Some are exalted, starring in this faulty play. But if they're caught and we're appalled with how we're bought and sold each day, we'll break the vault that hides the culprits, altering our DNA.
Third verse, pay attention.
Remember the 1976 swine flu epidemic? Yeah, neither do I. But this thing called Google's been invented, so you might want to try and see if this crazy guy is lying even slightly. When I say we tried to die because they told us that we might be dying of a slightly proven inconvenience. Their lips are sealed so tightly they're breathing through their penis. Okay, genius. That last line I made up. But at this point, if you're not squeamish, your lack of empathy sucks. They praise the almighty buck, but what goy hold most dear is to eat the corn we shuck without the constant seed of fear. Alive between our ears, popping every bubble, rows and rows of peers, trying not to get in trouble. Yet as more money goes to Hubble and distractions
You like all those corn
Epstein,
references?
the vaccine injured always doubles. It's all one big machine. And we're not on their team, we're cattle.
Oh, did you hear that part?
Last line I made up. But at this point, if you're not squeamish, your lack of empathy sucks. They praise the almighty buck, but what goy hold most dear is to eat the corn we shuck without the constant seed of fear. Alive between our ears, popping every bubble, rows and rows of peers, trying not to get in trouble. Yet as more money goes to Hubble and distractions like Epstein, the vaccine injured always doubles. It's all one big machine. And we're not on their team. We're cattle, nothing more. So when you wake up from your chosen dream, it's time to goy settle the score. It's not your fault you've been assaulted, you were taught to be this way. In this cult, some are exalted, starring in this faulty play. But if they're caught and we're appalled with how we're bought and sold each day, we'll break the vault that hides the culprits, altering our DNA.
Such a good song.
TBG proposes we no longer call it autism. We propose we call it symptoms of biological attack, or SOBA. People are born autistic. This is obviously something else, and as long as they have us battling over semantics, we're losing the war for our children.
Oh, so good. So fucking good. You're telling me your God isn't somehow working that and making all that shit come out so mathematically perfect. Gotcha. But you notice one line in there where it's distractions like Epstein. This was 2019 when this song was written. I was telling you it was a distraction all the way back then. There's a reason why we know about Epstein. That's it. Like you guys have to understand that. Epstein is a story that's given to us. And like that song was saying, so Vaxxed Part 2 is all about how vaccines cause autism, and I don't agree. It's weird, right? But of course, these guys are allowed to exist and allowed to live a good life off the money they make, and Del Bigtree, and guess who, even especially, you heard me say in the beginning, Senator Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy was involved. And I think Vaxxed Part 2, Part 1 talks about, like, he's a Kennedy, right? Like, more than likely within a couple of years, he's going to be associated with Trump. I mean, me not trusting Kennedy and then him associating with Trump was like, what do you know from funny, you bastards? Like, I wasn't at all shocked. And the point of the song is to we shouldn't call it autism. It's not autism. People are born autistic. And then you get things like autistic savants. There's no savants of the people that got the shots and then something happened afterward. That doesn't lead to autistic savants. Those children aren't cooking in the womb, overdeveloping one area while another area fails. So I say we should call it SOBA, symptoms of biological attack. And I wonder if I wonder if Brian Burroughs realized what I was actually saying. And that's why he was so weird. Hang on a second. Well, that's fucking weird. Oh, look, now the comments are gone. Oh, Jesus. All right, I'm going to reset. Literally, the comment section is completely gone. I can't see anything. So I'll reset, and I'll come back. See ya.